It all began with a document that, according to whispered palace rumors, was never meant to leave the private corridors of Buckingham Palace. Hidden behind layers of secrecy, the alleged decree carried the signature of King Charles III and reportedly shifted extraordinary influence over key royal estates directly into Catherine's hands. If the reports are true, the decision marked one of the quietest yet most significant internal changes the monarchy had seen in decades. At first, many insiders dismissed the speculation as exaggerated gossip designed to fuel endless fascination with royal politics. Palace circles have always thrived on whispers, and dramatic claims often disappear as quickly as they emerge. But this time, something felt different. Senior staff members connected to Sandringham reportedly began coordinating more closely with Kensington Palace rather than Clarence House. To longtime royal observers, that subtle administrative change was impossible to ignore. Before diving deeper into what these developments could mean for the future of the monarchy, remember to subscribe so you never miss an update on the stories unfolding behind palace walls. According to sources familiar with royal operations, the alleged decree was never introduced through grand ceremony or public celebration. There were no dramatic speeches, no televised announcements, and no carefully crafted royal statements. Instead, it reportedly moved through private channels like a sealed instruction intended only for a select inner circle. One signature from Charles may have changed the internal balance of royal authority forever. For years, Catherine had largely been viewed by the public as the composed and dependable future queen standing beside Prince William. Yet palace insiders now suggest she may have quietly evolved into something much more influential. A central protector of the monarchy's operational foundations. The estates connected to the crown are not simply pieces of land. Places such as Balmoral and Sandringham represent generations of royal history, personal grief, ceremonial memory, and institutional continuity. Control over them symbolizes far more than ownership. It symbolizes trust. Reports indicate the decree reached beyond ordinary household responsibilities and extended into oversight structures connected to duchy affairs, estate administration, preservation policies, and internal planning systems that support the monarchy itself. What reportedly shocked senior officials most was how quickly the chain of authority appeared to shift afterward. Long-established communication routes allegedly began redirecting toward Kensington Palace. Those who understood palace culture recognized immediately what such a change could imply. Sources claim Prince William had privately supported the transition for quite some time, not out of ambition, but out of concern for the institution's future. With continuing public speculation surrounding Charles's health, many inside royal circles were reportedly no longer asking whether change was coming. They were beginning to wonder if it had already arrived. Catherine's rise did not happen through public confrontation or dramatic declarations. That silence may have made it even more powerful. No loud announcements, no visible struggle, only a gradual tightening of influence spreading quietly through royal operations. Some courtiers allegedly began referring to Catherine as the guardian of the crown's sacred geography, a phrase carrying both respect and caution. Because in royal institutions, every gain in authority often means someone else has lost influence. Inside Buckingham Palace, loss of control is never treated lightly. It becomes tension. It becomes suspicion. And eventually it becomes conflict no one openly names. Yet according to speculation circulating among former palace aides, the decree itself may have been only part of a much larger story. Some insiders believe Queen Elizabeth II may have quietly anticipated this moment years before her passing. Rumors suggest she spent much of her later reign considering how to protect the monarchy's most symbolic estates from instability, internal rivalry, and shifting power structures. At the center of those alleged discussions was Catherine. Observers frequently noted Elizabeth's calm approval of Catherine over the years. It was never loud or theatrical, but it appeared consistent. Catherine was gradually welcomed deeper into royal responsibility after years of restraint, discipline, and careful adherence to protocol. While others sought headlines, Catherine reportedly focused on understanding the institution itself. While others competed for visibility, she learned silence. To a monarch who spent decades defending the crown against scandal and uncertainty, patience may have been viewed as a strength rather than weakness. According to speculation from royal commentators, continuity plans surrounding Balmoral, Sandringham, and estate preservation may have quietly developed long before Charles allegedly signed the decree. These estates were never ordinary properties. They carried memories of coronations, family divisions, mourning, celebration, and national symbolism. To mishandle them would not merely represent poor leadership. For some within royal tradition, it would represent betrayal. After Queen Elizabeth's death in 2022, insiders claim Catherine was gradually included in increasingly sensitive discussions previously reserved for only the most trusted figures inside the monarchy. The palace rarely announces power openly. Sometimes it teaches it slowly. According to Palace Whispers, Elizabeth believed authority had to be earned long before it could ever be exercised. William reportedly understood this as well. Some claims suggest that he and Princess Anne quietly agreed stronger protections around the monarchy's estate network would eventually become necessary. Anne allegedly represented discipline and institutional toughness. William represented inheritance. Catherine represented stability. Together, they may have a quieter but more strategic force within the monarchy. Then came growing concern over Charles's health. Suddenly, questions once treated as distant possibilities became immediate realities. The recommendations and discussions supposedly hidden in palace memory reportedly resurfaced. If these accounts are accurate, Charles may have revisited fears his mother carried privately for years. The fear that internal divisions could weaken the monarchy from within. And in that moment, Catherine's role may have transformed from future possibility into present necessity. That is why many royal insiders allegedly viewed the decree as carrying such extraordinary weight. To them, it was not only Charles's signature, it symbolized Elizabeth's influence, William's trust, Anne's warning, and Catherine's emergence at the center of a battle over the monarchy's future identity. According to several royal commentators and anonymous palace sources, the internal reaction to Catherine's growing authority was far more intense than the public ever realized. From the outside, the monarchy continued projecting calm tradition, polished appearances, and ceremonial unity, but behind private dining rooms, estate offices, and tightly controlled meetings, insiders claimed tensions were quietly escalating. What appeared to be a smooth transition may actually have concealed one of the most serious internal disagreements Buckingham Palace had experienced in years. Not everyone reportedly supported Catherine's rapid rise. As the alleged decree began affecting real operational structures, the consequences quickly became impossible to ignore. This was no symbolic gesture. According to speculation from palace insiders, the shift touched staffing systems, estate management, financial approvals, ceremonial planning, guest access, and administrative oversight tied to royal properties. The moment Catherine authority allegedly became operational rather than ceremonial, the atmosphere inside certain palace departments reportedly changed. Longtime officials who had spent years navigating familiar channels suddenly discovered those pathways narrowing or redirecting. Some Clarence House advisors were said to have resisted the changes almost immediately. The concern, according to rumors, was not personal dislike, but fear of losing influence within long-established royal networks. Inside palace culture, even seemingly minor details can carry enormous significance. A seating arrangement can signal hierarchy. A guest invitation can indicate loyalty. A staffing reassignment can reveal shifting authority. According to royal whispers, Members of Queen Camilla's broader circle were reportedly surprised by how extensive Catherine's reach appeared to become. The alleged decree seemed to create a visible dividing line between the fading structure of the present reign and the future structure forming around William and Catherine. That silence made the situation even more dangerous. No one wanted to openly admit there was conflict because acknowledging conflict would mean admitting that the monarchy's most protected spaces had become politically contested. Yet resistance reportedly grew anyway. Prince William, according to insiders, remained completely firm in his support. Sources close to palace operations allegedly claimed he viewed Catherine's authority as essential to the institution's survival. After years marked by scandals, public criticism, media storms, and family fractures, William reportedly believed discipline had to take priority over sentiment. Princess Anne was also rumored to support stronger institutional safeguards. Her reputation for practicality and unwavering duty reportedly gave added force to the reforms taking shape. Then came a series of quiet but meaningful internal changes. Staff assignments at several royal residences allegedly shifted. Approvals that once moved quickly reportedly slowed under new reviews. Certain traditional privileges were quietly reconsidered. From the outside, none of it appeared dramatic. Inside palace walls, however, every small adjustment reportedly felt like a signal. The future was no longer waiting politely in the distance. It was beginning to organize itself. Around this time, media insiders allegedly began hearing the same unsettling phrase repeated by multiple royal contacts. The future has already been decided. For those whose influence depended heavily on Charles's existing court structure, those words reportedly landed with tremendous force. Investigators and royal analysts gradually began suspecting that the alleged decree was never only about property management. It was about succession, about continuity, about survival, and perhaps most importantly, about defining what kind of monarchy would exist after Charles. Then came what some palace insiders reportedly referred to as the Iron Protocol.